This isn't gonna be. I don't know. I'm gonna have to work on not doing that whole time thing. It works for y'all. It don't really work for me. So here's the thing: Game of Thrones is a series of books written by George R. Martin. Our current person residing in the White House chose Game of Thrones as his campaign last season, so to speak. And this season, I chose to continue to keep a beat. So if we're in Game of Thrones season 8 and we're at the end and just ate all y'all shit, I'm still alive. All three of my dragons are alive. Cause this is the real one. This ain't the imaginary shit. And I'm Daenerys according to his version. I played along with his stuff. Cause Lady Ravensclaw doesn't exist in the HBO version of this. Okay? And that's where he got his information, not ours from. Donald Trump did not read Game of Thrones. He might be right now listening to that book on audiobook, but it's too late. Which reminds me, the point of this. What you all have been doing, Manosphereans and cultists and all the rest of you, so you're gonna want to know, I already know, and the rest of the world's gonna know, so if you do anything stupid, they're gonna see it, right? I told someone yesterday that the way that my tism works is the amount of time that you have been away from my life versus the amount of time you were originally in my life. Half of that time, that's your half life. Okay? Like if you were a pill, right? If I took the pill of my sibling, right? Her, I'm 50. So we're going to go with the younger one. I've known her all her life. She was born 4 years after me, approximately. That make her about what? 46, 47? Okay. Half that time, and I will begin to forget what it looks like. However, that does not include my abusers. Anyone who's attempted to manipulate me, use me, gaslight me, all of that, you all are stored somewhere else in my brain, and that shit comes up like fly. Rote memory. Any energy, a scent of you, a whiff of you, something, someone like you, I know it. Crystal fucking clear on that shit. So you really do not want to fuck with me. Just leave me alone. Let me live in peace. Make sure I'm happy and I got my needs met. Think of me like the planet. If you don't want the planet to blow up from the inside out, don't fuck with me. Feed me. Let me get plenty of sleep. Let me mind my business. Let me smoke my weed. Let me sing and dance. And let me do my shit. Let me build my little tribe of me and mine. And don't worry about it. It really ain't that many people when you think about just me and my indigenous American blackness. How many other people do you hear say that? That's the number of people you got to be concerned with. And they chilling, and they chilling's chilling. That's it. That's my tribe. And what we build out from there, whether or not we interact with your tribe or not, ain't none of your business. Okay? You got until March 31st to be indigenous American and then black. Now stand back. Stand back. Because the indigenous Americans, we where it's at. And then there's black. Okay? Color lines, cluster lines, whatever you want to call it, I'm all of it. Except, I'm not white. White is the absence of color. I got a whole lot of color. I got a whole lot of flavor. I got a whole lot of fights. I got a whole lot of sass. I got a whole lot. Okay? I'm darkness from which every other color exists. I am indigenous American blackness. Now, does it make sense? I'm indigenous to the Americas, and I'm black out this bitch. How hard is that? This is a Manosphere though. Real talk. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I know. Actually, look, like I don't know what y'all got going on. I just know you all now know I'm the matriarch, and you think I'm looking for a patriarch. You are not mistaken. You don't understand, right? That shit. One more time for the record. Any man intending on marrying me, number one, I don't really believe in marriage, so we're talking about basic paperwork so that my shit's protected from you. And that's really something that's going to be done differently because I'm not involving these motherfuckers in my shit. You think I'm going to hand over something to the government? You got me fucked up about this, bitch. What I've said is true, though. When it comes to working as a third party alongside of the United States government, that's a different beast. When it comes to the United States president, I can hold two seats. I can keep three beaks, so you ain't got to worry about me. Okay? But what's mine is mine. What's America's is America's, and I got a piece of that too. And my blackness say I got a piece of all of that too. So when it comes to dealing with someone in my life, number one, it's gonna be a black man. By what y'all standard. Number two, someone who's intellectual, don't play with me. That's who I am. And number three, the rest of it really ain't none of your fucking business. Because if you need me to say anything else, then it obviously ain't you. Now, moving on to the next thing. A single woman being head of state is not uncommon. What is uncommon is some of the things that may come out of it. Like I definitely ain't gonna be no Elizabeth the First, if you want to call her that or whatever, because I'm not already married and had children. I'm not a commoner, so to speak, in dynasty, and a few other things. So you know, here in this country, we have debutantes and whatnot. We're gonna combine something and do the southern shit. We're gonna do the government shit. We're gonna do a little bit of dilettante shit, not a lot. I don't do gaudy. I don't do all that other stuff. Yet I believe in etiquette. I believe in decency and common respect. There's a medevac landing. They don't normally land sideways, so it's just I'm curious. You understand what I'm saying? You know, there still be things, graduations. You know, maybe not the same holidays. We're paying homage to paganistic activities that people don't believe in. And when I say paganistic, only because we celebrate these things, but for the wrong reasons. If we just enjoy dressing up and having a good time for Halloween, then do so and or say so. You know what I'm saying? Like, live it that. Call it something else. Make it your American thing. Indeed, so on and so forth. It's about indigenous family. Let it be already. Let it be. You got casinos. You got all kinds of ish. Black people carried a lot of shit out here. We ain't finna carry this. So just slide to the left. Work on your shit. While you getting your $1,000 checks out here, go back to school. Or go to school or whatever it is you go do. You dig what I'm saying? Corporations who have been. Thank you for keeping a beat with me. I see a need and there's a need that I'd like to fill. It's just that I'd like to get with you behind the scenes and maybe a couple of your employees that I've seen on the ground here who are absolutely amazing. With my political ambitions and everything to do with my personal consulting business. Um, and anybody who's not aware of this, I have consulted large businesses by way of who I worked for. I worked for Thompson Hospitality. At the time, they were the seventh largest food service company in the country and the number one black-owned food service company. I'm sorry, seventh largest. Was it around the thought now? Because they were under Compass. So Compass was their umbrella corporation. Um, See what I mean about being generational upbringing matters. I recognize things because of the general before me on the clock and what that means for me, right? How they would have set up my life in such a way back then so I could spring forward this spring, despite what's happening around me. It really has nothing to do with me except the person's hate for me. My ancestry anticipated the hate for me and were praying for a me, someone who could stand in the midst of all of it and speak truth to power despite the and shit flying overhead. You wanted to see a miracle, so to speak. Is that not miraculous? I ain't been shot at. I mean, literally, ain't nobody put a bullet in me. Yeah, they've been shooting energy weapons and shit, but what does that do? One, two, three, four on the clock. Nothing. Nothing. Keep the clock going. That's it. You want to stop the clock on this right here? Quit being ignorant when it comes to my civil rights. You're violating my civil rights, my liberties, my human. I can't go pee in peace, man. Everybody trying to figure out whether I'm a girl. Do you want to come over here and put your hand in my vagina? I know you do. That's the problem with y'all. Y'all ain't got no doggone hand training. Which is why in the beginning, this is also for the women in the sphere. I understand people's feelings got hurt in this thing. Some of y'all didn't know you were even competing. Then you found out you were competing against me and you just knew you were in and then you were like, goddamn. I understand though. It does not mean that I'm going to go back to the things that would have led me down the path of destruction. No. If I'm not willing to go, you ain't got to go. You choosing to go. Look, you cannot make a prostitute out of me. You can be angry. You can be a lot of things. Forgive me. My nose is irritating me. You can want to look at my life history and still care. You were not. And unless you want to walk a mile in all of my shoes, I really suggest you calm down. You think that what you see of me is what you want, but you don't know how I got it. You don't know the cost. You better take your ass back through my content. The last 6 months to a year. Just this channel alone. You can watch this bitch like the Manosphere documentary that they got. This shit's legit from a woman's perspective. Having them attempting to traffic me, quite literally, to the highest fucking bidder. Not just because I'm pretty, that's collateral beauty, but because Pete Hegseth and the Manosphere think I'm dangerous out here. They don't want women listening to me. That goes for the Ayatollah. That goes for my. They don't want anybody listening to me, especially not the last two. I am a Muslim Sufist, and I'm a woman, and I'm American, and I gave birth to three sons. If you don't know the prophecy, you don't understand. If you do know the prophecy, then you know why they don't like me. You also know why, like I said, bullets might be flying overhead, but they ain't touching me. It is indeed divine anointing. It's just y'all didn't understand all of the things to get to this point in history. The Most High God told you anyway, but y'all didn't want to pay attention. You got Nat Turner, Martin Luther King, and Malcolm X. You got Detroit Red, Malcolm X, and Malcolm Shabazz. And then you got murder. So why was he murdered? He exhibited fear. He let them know he was afraid, which opened the door, the mindset. Not me. I ain't met a motherfucker yet that's made me scary or been the motherfucking D, and I mean since I was fucking 13. But you see of me is my ability to bomb a worldwide boxing event. A human sprint of, nah, that, not me. Grew up differently. This is not me attempting to make amends, atone for my sins, explain myself, any of that. It's more for clarity. Southern women are built sturdy. So while I'm 100 pounds of sturdiness, I'm sturdy than a motherfucker. And I'm all woman. Naturally built. Can't take it from me. You think I don't have enough weight on me? Love me enough to make me gain weight. Nah, oh wait. That's the funny shit. I found one of the things that I really appreciate about this life. And sometimes I really do get to escape. So, don't be mad at me. Be careful with me. Remember, my heart's sturdy. Yours is fragile, so don't come playing around over here. I'm built different. Never forget it. Peace.